Hello, Internet. I hope we're having a fantastic Tuesday. How is everybody this evening? I'm sorry for the delay. You know me. Technical difficulties, as always. Well, we had a funny one today, didn't we? We had a bunch of funny stuff happen. Well, one thing was funny, at least. But something came out that was making fun of something serious that happened that ended up being really funny. That'll show you guys. It'll be the first thing I show you guys. But first, Scarlett has to say hi, like she always does. Do you want to say hi? All right, okay. Say hi to everybody. Oh, your paws are all dirty. You just gonna, you guys. She dug a hole under my deck and decided that's her spot that she likes to lay in now. So she's dug a hole under there, and she likes to lay under the deck. She could lay on the deck if she wanted to, and she would have a nice little view. But no, she dug a hole. She likes to lay under the deck. So, hey, go lay down. Now. No, lay down all the way. Right now. A good girl. Lay down, good girl. All right, everyone. How we doing? I see who we got. Who is that? B Sizzo? I think it was who I saw earlier. Let's see who we got here. Wally World, B Sizzo, how we doing? Nice to see you guys. Oh, well, that's fun. Yeah, I can't say that. Oh, Schizoid Man, nice to see you. No cats. I want to get Scarlett a duck. I know, sounds weird, but Scarlett really likes ducks. She loves ducks at the park. She loves them. I don't know why. She's fascinated with the ducks at Henry Cowell. She's not scared of them, but she's definitely intimidated by the ducks, but she's fascinated. Like, she wants to be friends with the ducks. So I want to get her a duck. Yeah, it'd be funny. All right, well, let's get into some stuff. Before we do, if you guys could do me a huge solid and go down and hit that like button. If you're fans of the show, you want to help the show out, that kind of stuff. Retweets, reposts, whatever you want to call it. Comments, hang out in the chat. All that stuff is helpful. So we actually got some people hanging out over on YouTube tonight. That's amazing. Oh, man. Even got my freaking boy. My boy. I'm not going to dox you, though, my friend. Danger over there. Yeah, I'm not going to dox you. Probably could, but you probably wouldn't care. But anyway. All right. So got a bunch of people in the chat. So, yeah. Like button. Subscribe. Share. All that good stuff. All right. So, Nikki Haley. I put out a post earlier and I called her a bitch. I'm just going to say it. And then, yeah, I understand I'm running for office, guys, but I'm not a politician. That's my whole thing. And I can't, if I change what I would normally do, then I'm not being authentic. And it's already a David versus Goliath situation. I'm probably not going to win. I'm not saying I'm not going to try. I'm going to keep making the points that I make, but yeah, I called Nikki Haley a bitch. If that's not, polished for a politician, and somebody said earlier that they wouldn't vote for me because I called Nikki Haley a bitch. Well, okay, but look what you're voting for instead. You're going to either vote for a rhino con that's just going to, vote along with the Democratic Party and just be a shill and not do anything, or you're going to vote for an actual Democrat that's going to vote for biological boys in your daughter's locker rooms. You're voting for all sorts of things because you don't like that I called Nikki Haley a bitch. And well, we'll look at why I called Nikki Haley a bitch. There's a little bit of reason for it. Because she's a psychopath. She's an absolute psychopath. And she, to me, looks like one of the people that the establishment would like to be one of the front runners, even though we all know the establishment would like to see Newsom versus DeSantis. It seems like that's what they want. Terry Wallace, nice to see you. You would vote for me still calling her that? I think a lot of people still would. Yeah, a lot of people would vote for me calling Nikki Haley a bitch. I've probably said it like 14 times on the show already. But we'll see why I was calling her that. Because she's a bit of a psychopath. Okay? I'm not going to beat around the bush here. It's kind of like Newsom yesterday. She let it slip. When Newsom, and she doubled down too. So Newsom yesterday, he says, a lot of people are, saying that we cleaned up the city because we got a bunch of people, political leaders and CEOs coming in, important people. And that's true because it's true. And not only is it true, but it's true in the truest form of being true. He said some shit like that. It was like a Kamala moment for him. He just let it all out. And then Nikki Haley kind of has, to me, this is, I don't know. It's not the same thing, but yeah, one isn't worse than the other, I don't think. But this is equally as bad. So here, let me fix something right quick. If I can figure out how to. Of course. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, folks. All right. So, if you guys, I'm sure you guys already saw it earlier. So, Nikki Haley is calling for this on social media. Actually, let me start from the beginning. There we go.
When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithms. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing.
So that I'm actually all for. But I'm not for the, well, so I'm all for, actually, see, I have a moral conundrum here because yeah, that's a tough one. For the government forcing companies to do stuff like that is a very, forcing companies to do anything is a moral conundrum for me. But this is a, social media is like, as Elon puts it, the town square type thing. And it's, if you're depriving people of a social media platform, you're depriving people of a voice. Nikki Haley's Gavin Newsom in a wig. Interesting. So, so I almost agree with her. I'm not sure I do, but I'm not. That's not, even that is kind of authoritarian, using government power to force social media companies to show their algorithm. Actually, yeah, that's really authoritarian now that I think about it. So sorry, I'm doing this live, folks, and I'm trying to, work within my moral framework here as well. But social media is the town square. And when you're censoring people, you are depriving people of a voice. It's depriving people of free speech, in my opinion. And this is a constitutional thing. So an argument could be made that social media companies, when they're censoring people, are breaking the Constitution. They're violating the First Amendment. A very strong argument could be made for that with the whole town square argument. However, I'm not sure where I stand on it, but I kind of agree with her first point there. But here's the doozy. Here's where she goes all wonky.
Second thing is, every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat. When you do that, all of a sudden people have to stand by what they say, and it gets rid of the Russian bots, the Iranian bots, and the Chinese bots. And then you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say.
Accountability.
And they know their pastor and their family member is going to see it. It's going to help our kids, and it's going to help our country. When I get into office, the first thing.
Okay. So she went for it. She really said it. I think if less people were anonymous online and they spoke I know there's a lot of people that just want to troll and be crazy and shit online. And that's so, like, I completely disagree with Nikki Haley. Anonymity online, anonymity. I can't say it. I can't. Anonymity. I can't do it, guys. It's one of those words. It's important to stay anonymous online for many people. And the government forcing social media companies to make people show who they are online is ridiculous. However, I do feel that if people were, if less people were anonymous online, and they would stand up to what they're preaching, to what they're talking about. I'm not talking about trolls. I'm talking about people that just want to say regular things that they believe and feel. Like Californians, I didn't realize how much self-censoring I was doing before I got canceled, before I got fired for refusing to wear the mask. And I was doing a lot of self-censoring, and I do it at the workplace. It's the stuff that it's okay to talk about when you get around the safe people, and you have to like navigate this world and figure out who's okay to talk to about, saying, yeah, I keep coming back to the same example because to me it's the most preposterous one. But when you go out and say, yeah, I don't think biological men should compete against women and be in the locker rooms with them changing. Like, that's not an unreasonable position to take at all. And you're called a transphobe and insane things for taking that position. And yeah, sorry, things are bonkers. I don't even really know where I was going. Oh, so if more people weren't anonymous and they would say that, because that's not a super crazy thing to say, that if people were comfortable again saying the super just normal thing, yeah, now that there's been like this multiple years test of the whole trans bathroom thing, yeah, I think we can see now that there's a lot of men that are taking advantage of the whole trans bathroom thing, a lot of perverts, and it's putting a lot of women and young girls in danger and in very compromising positions. And a lot of people are scared to say the very things that I was just saying, and that is not at all a extreme position to take. All you're saying is, yeah, I want to protect my girl. I want to protect my daughter. That's it. Like, nah, I don't think I want this guy. He seems a little off to me. I don't want him going in the restroom with my daughter. Like, we've had this experiment for a while now, and people are so neutered, so toned down. Anyway, I'm going off on this tangent, but the whole point is, like, I didn't realize how much self-censorship I was doing until I was sort of unshackled when I refused to wear the mask, got fired, ended up on Tucker. Like, now I am truly canceled. Like, I'm unhirable. Granted, you guys, the most amazing job popped up on my feed today that is perfect. It is perfect. It's what I used to do before. It's for and I don't want to say too much about it, but it's like outdoorsy, but it's still AV, what I used to do before. And it's they're a Christian organization, and yeah, like they might vibe with me. So I don't know, this whole it's a really good anyway. I might not be completely canceled, guys. It's good. It's things are it's very encouraging. But yeah, I didn't realize. Now I'm free to say whatever I want, and I do say whatever I want, and I say things online that I wouldn't have said before, like calling Nikki Haley a bitch. Like yeah, I might not have done that when I had my last job. Like, people are genuinely worried about putting something out online, like calling Nikki Haley a bitch, and then someone finding out, doing a bunch of digging and finding out where they work, and then calling their boss and saying, hey, did you know so-and-so called Nikki Haley a bitch? You should fire him. I wouldn't want this going online saying so-and-so works for you after calling Nikki Haley a bitch. That type of shit happens. People are especially here in California, people do so much self-censorship. Anyway, so huge importance for anonymity. I did it. I said it, guys. Anonymity. Yeah, I did it. I got it now. Okay. I don't know. I was having a problem there. All right. Well, so Nikki Haley said that, and then she doubled down on it. So she went on this other show. I'm assuming this was right after. She went on the Ruthless podcast. I'm unfamiliar with this podcast, but she went on this one, and she basically doubled down and said the same crap. So here she is again. Check it out.
They need to verify every single person on their outlet and I want it by name. Because
what about Smug? Does he qualify?
I've provided them with my government.
If Smug is on your driver's license, then, and look, you can put Smug in parentheses, but I want everybody's name. They need to verify every single person.
So she's talking about with driver's license. She thinks in order to be able to use social media
on their,
she's saying that in order to use social media, like all social media platforms, you should have to show your driver's license or some sort of state identification. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I mean, the libertarian in me doesn't even think we should need to have driver's licenses or register your car, any of that crap. Man, I haven't even told you guys about the adventure with my 79 Chrysler that you would not believe what I've had to go through with this car to get it to pass smog. And it's a good, solid running car. I bought the car for dirt cheap. and it's a great car. It's got less than 100,000 original miles on it. It's a cream puff. It's a great car. It was a garage car, one owner. Anyway, it took me in California. Your car, they have smog here in California. For those of you who are unaware, they're not Californians, and it's 1976 and prior smog exempt. The car I got is a 79, so it still has to pass smog, and it was a nightmare getting it to pass. So just stay and. Most people would have junked the car because blue book value on the car is maybe $3,000, $3,500 in the condition that it looks like it's in. I mean, I think I could get close to $10,000 for this car in the market that we're in right now. But anyway, it's state regulations. Anyway, she thinks that you should have to provide your freaking driver's license in order to use social media. Just use social media. So. That's freaking crazy. It's unbelievable to me. So, and then somebody did this. So this was just perfect. Oh, I think it was from Il Donaldo Trumpo. You guys know that account. It's a freaking great account. So I don't know if you guys saw this one. So who is this? I think they morphed Xi Jinping over Nikki Haley here.
When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts. Now, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithm. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is every person on social media should be verified by their name. When I get into...
Oh, that was gold. That was perfect. It looked like, I'm sorry, that looked like Elon Musk to me, though. Am I tripping? It sounded like Elon Musk, too. I don't know, but... Yep, that happened. Okay, so yeah, I guess enough about Nikki Haley, but she's an authoritarian. Somebody said they wouldn't vote for me because I called her a bitch. Well, sorry, then don't vote for me. Vote for, the boys in the room with your daughter, like pretending to be girls in the locker room with your daughter. Vote for boys on your daughter's lacrosse team. That's a sport where it's a nightmare waiting to happen because I don't know a ton about lacrosse, but I do have a close friend who seems to be distancing herself from me, who is the head lacrosse coach at a very well-known school, a very well-known private school. And yeah, it's from my understanding, and I've watched a handful of lacrosse games. But from my understanding, male lacrosse and women's lacrosse is like almost a different sport. Like men's lacrosse can be brutal. And when a dude comes over and starts playing women's lacrosse, it's a nightmare waiting to happen. Basketball, when a girl gets caught with the elbow, like that's going to happen too. Somebody's pivoting in the paint and they're just doing this, the old Karl Malone. And someone's going to catch an elbow to the face. Like, a woman is going to get what's ultimately going to happen is a woman's going to be killed on live TV in a sporting event. That's what's ultimately going to happen with this. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Like this will happen with the road that we're going down if nobody stops this, especially with mixed martial arts and boxing and jiu-jitsu and wrestling and tons of other sports. It's a fast moving sports. Baseball. I guess it can't really happen with I guess a dude can go over and play softball. I mean, thing is, that's one sport that I don't know if dudes would have an advantage. I tried to hit a softball pitcher once, and man, have you guys ever tried to hit, like, those chicks can throw hard. They throw like sliders and stuff. Oh, that man, from a super short distance, it's like trying to hit a 110-mile-an-hour fastball. It's insane. But if a super big dude rips one up the middle, that like decided to play softball on a little league size field, like a 6'4", 225 jack dude goes and decides to play softball on a little league size field. Yeah, gets a hold of one, rips one up the middle off the pitcher's forehead with a metal bat. Yeah, that could do it. Like it's a nightmare waiting to happen. Anyway, all right. Enough of the ranting. Sorry, triggered me. All right. So did you guys see Senator Scott Mullen from Oklahoma today? So Well, I'll just play the clip really quick. Pause it. This I'm sure you guys already heard about this, but this was Senator Scott Mullen from Oklahoma, and was it Scott Mullen? Senator Mullen. Sorry, I don't know what his first name is. I don't even know if is he a Democrat? I don't know anything about this guy, but he's interviewing or he's questioning the Teamsters guy, and he's sitting next to Bernie Sanders. And so here you go. If you guys haven't seen this already.
Like he's self-made. Sir, I wish he was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company. Myself and my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy.
I'm just going to pause it really quick, and you could tell before he even stands up. Hey, Senator Mullen's jacked. Look at this dude. Look at this broad-ass shoulder dude. Senator Mullen is jacked, and it looks like Senator Mullen's pissed, and he's calling out the Teamsters Union talking shit on Twitter. So let's continue. Scarlett.
Sir, this is a time, this is a place. You want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big
Oh,
guy.
stop it.
Is that your
All right.
solution?
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down.
Okay.
You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit
You're a United States Senator.
down, please.
All right.
Can I respond? Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't.
That's Bernie actually did what the responsible adult's supposed to do there. So that was funny. But let's so Mr. O'Brien here, I'm sorry, and I don't know Mr. O'Brien's background, but Mr. O'Brien looks like a wad of cookie dough that drinks a bit too much. I'm just judging. I am judging right off. Just looking, sizing the two dudes up. Oh man, you are in trouble, Mr. O'Brien. Okay, that went to a perfect part. Do you guys see Senator Mullen here? Senator Mullen is jacked. Like, I would not want this. First of all, I'm a tall, lanky guy, and apparently Senator Mullen has a collegiate wrestling background, and I think he's some sort of wrestling Hall of Fame, and he's got 5 undefeated MMA fights. So Senator Mullen will legit wreck folks. Like, the dude will slam you into the earth and make you go unconscious. This dude's a bad man, and I'm a tall, lanky guy, and wrestlers are like my kryptonite. They can take me down at will. But yeah, so that happened with Senator Scott Mullen and the dude from the Teamsters. So that's hilarious. And it's sort of it's a sign of the times. Just kind of going back to me calling Nikki Haley a bitch. Like, all the rules of decorum for politicians have gone out the window, folks. Like, there was a coup in 2020. The way the Biden administration, well, the way that I'll call it the cathedral, so we don't say the deep state or whatever, but intelligence agencies colluding with big tech to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop and the COVID information, because that could have changed people's minds on the voting as well. If people all of a sudden found out that, hey, it's not so safe and effective, all that kind of stuff. That was a coup. That was a legit coup. Suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop would have changed the outcome of the 2020 election. Look at all the Russiagate stuff they did after 2016, talking about how that influenced the election. And what were they even saying that it was? Memes? Handful of memes on Facebook? When they suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop, when it had evidence of the Biden family being compromised by the CCP, not to mention all of Hunter's, let's just call it philandering. I mean, it's madness what came out on that laptop. Absolute madness. And then that Time article, the shadow campaign, all that stuff. That was a coup. 2020 was a legit coup. And any sort of decorum we had before that is gone. We should be seeing fights in the Senate. Let's go. You know what? Like, if maybe there should be fights on the Senate floor. The congressmen fighting congressmen, especially if they agree to it. They want to settle it that way. I am all for it. Dana White, let's promote this shit. Let's go. I mean, he would never take it. But hey, I guess I can't technically call myself a politician until I at least get past the primaries. But I would absolutely, and he would never take it, but I would challenge Gavin Newsom to a fight. It would be spectacular. Challenge Gavin Newsom to a fight. Do it in Vegas. Do it in the octagon. Whatever rules he wants. We can do no headshots if we want. Do it like Pancration style. I mean, whatever he wanted. Gavin Newsom is very fit, athletic. I mean, he's tall. We might be able to get in the same weight class even. I mean, I could drop weight. He could take some roids, get all jacked. Yeah, I mean, that'd be great. All the money could go towards a California charity. I mean, it would be great publicity. I mean, so I'd be totally down to do it. I challenge Gavin Newsom to a fight. So you heard it here, folks. Senator Mullen, you have inspired me, sir. I challenge Gavin Newsom to a fight because of Senator Mullen. All decorum is out the window, folks. This is how politics are done now. Sorry, boomers. The rules have changed. All right. Let's see what else we got. Actually, no, there was a couple more things I wanted to talk about. There's all sorts of stuff going on today. So you guys see it right before the show started over in Colorado. This happened over in Pueblo, Colorado. There's a police chase, and this dude drove the car right into the mall. It looks like. Look at this. Crazy.
Oh hell no!
Oh.
Get out of the way! Get out!
Oh!
Holy shit! Get out the way! Get out the way!
Fuck!
I gotta go to the bathroom too.
Store, bro. He's talking for a little bit too. Weird. You know what I mean? Look at this dumbass fool.
Geez, someone was really excited about the sale at Banana Republic, I guess. All right, I don't know what that was all about. Is that audio insanely loud on your guys' end? Rob Bonta? Rob Bonta? Oh, dude, sorry, I almost doxed you there. Danger. That would be an excellent match. Tag team. No. We'll just have a full card. We can get other people to fight too. You challenge Rob Bonta? Oh, that'd be spectacular. But no, Lonnie, I did it. It means you got to run for office, sir. I apologize. Yeah, it only works if you run for office. Yeah, I want to see politicians fighting. That's what not on the streets. Well, maybe. Yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it. They used to duel back in the day. Come on. What's the little dudes can do this too, by the way. Dudes can actually hate each other, get in a fight, and then all of a sudden have respect for one another. That happens with men. I don't think women have that capability, but dudes can literally beat it, especially if it's like a one-on-one fight. Everybody's it stays one-on-one, and it's, and dudes just beat the piss out of each other until neither one of them have anything left. And then, guys that hate each other can become friends by fighting. This happened to me my first week of school in high school. I had to go to a new high school where I didn't know anybody because parents moved and all my friends went to another high school. And my big lanky ass got picked on every day by a dude named Matt. I won't say his last name. But he picked on me every day. PE was the first class, and he would pick on me in the locker room. It all started over how to tie a knot on a volleyball net. How this started. He'd pick on me every day. Sorry, Matt, if you're watching. But he picked on me, and I didn't know anybody. And he had two dudes with him all the time. One of them was a big dude, and he looked scary, so I just didn't want to do anything. I was scared. So they picked on me. This went on for like a week or 2 weeks, and finally, they're like waiting for me outside of the locker room one day, and talking, just yelling in my face and talking all sorts of crap. And I was trying to walk away, and told him didn't want to fight him, and told him that a certain amount of times, and then I just dropped my backpack and I let her rip, and I ripped him apart. I beat the hell out of him. I beat the absolute crap out of him. I went all like this was long before I did any sort of martial arts too, so it was more like the like crying and fighting and beating somebody up. It was not pretty, but I beat him up pretty bad. And then I don't know, maybe a year goes by, and my friend Chris calls his phone. We're out skateboarding, my friend Chris calls his buddy to come pick us up in his Camaro. All of a sudden he rolls up. It's the guy I got in a fight with the year before. And we just kind of acted like nothing happened. We jumped in the car. Chris didn't know we ever got in a fight, and we just became friends. And Matt is one of my closest friends to this day. Till this, I haven't seen him in years. I talk to him once every few months, 2-3 times a year, maybe something like that. But every time I see him, it's like no time has gone by. This dude's my brother. And it all started with us getting in a fight, legitimately. So maybe politicians should fight. Maybe this is how we find equal ground. I think we need to get violent again. All right, sorry. Okay, cool. I can say your name. Lonald. All right, cool. Let's see. What else we got going on here? I think that was it with the all these top stories here. This made me sad earlier, though. Do you guys see? So I grew up on the show Friends. I mean, yeah, I know it's a chick show, but I had a sister and a mom, and I grew up on Friends, and I really liked the show when I was a kid. It made me laugh a lot, and Joey and Chandler were freaking hilarious, and I loved Ross's monkey, and the show was freaking hilarious. It was a great show, and Matt LeBlanc put out this post today, just a bunch of pictures of him, and I'm sorry, Matt, is it Matt LeBlanc? Sorry, I'm blanking on his name now, but he put out this post. I'm mixing up their two names now. Sorry about that, but he says, "This is with the heavy heart that I say goodbye. The times we had together, honestly, among the favorite times of my life. It was an honor to share the stage with you and call you my friend. I will always smile when I think of you, and I'll never forget you. Never. Spread your wings and fly, brother. You're finally free. Much love. And I guess you're keeping that $20 you owe me." So you can just tell that he really cared about his buddy. So, there's he put out Matthew Perry. Is that what his name was? Yeah, Matthew Perry. He put out a bunch of really weird posts right before he passed. And he was in the hot tub, and he was doing this Matman thing with Batman and stuff. And there's a bunch of conspiracies going around and all sorts of stuff. And, that's fine. But for what it is, this bummed me out. Because you can just tell when it all comes down to it, you can just tell it's a dude upset that his buddy's dead. So I recently lost somebody, several somebodies, but a very close friend of mine not too long ago, and it was a died suddenly situation. I won't speculate, but he was my age, very close friend of mine that I'd known for a very long time, and we grew up together. And this is like my immediate group of friends, and yeah, so I get it when someone very close to you dies. It's tough. So yeah. That made me sad today. So sorry, wasn't trying to bum you guys out, but did want to note that a little bit. So Here, this is something I do want to talk about a little bit too. This is from Wall Street Silver earlier. He put this out. He says, when the work increases but the pay doesn't, are you at this point? They're calling it quiet quitting. Where do you just barely when you do just barely enough to avoid getting fired, putting in the minimum effort, but don't go the extra mile for the employer, not speaking up in meetings, not volunteering for tasks, refusing overtime, etc. And I've seen this personally. I never got to this point, but I've gotten to a demoralized point where, yeah, when you're going and working insane hours, especially if you've got a gnarly commute in both directions, and every week you're falling a little bit more behind, it's demoralizing. It's absolutely demoralizing. If you're doing something that you don't really enjoy, something that you wouldn't be doing if it wasn't paying you, yeah, that's demoralizing if you're falling a little bit more behind every week. So, and that is what's happening to people. Just your buying power is decreasing every day. And everybody can see it. And then politicians are gaslighting us and telling us that everything's fine. It's not happening. And unemployment is great. And inflation is down. Like this is the stuff that they tell us straight to our face, you know? And these are the people that don't ever look at the prices of anything that they buy. They have people that buy stuff for them. They don't do their own grocery shopping, you know? They don't go to the store and say, holy shit, $9 for ground beef? Like, that doesn't happen to these politicians that are gaslighting us and telling us that everything's fine. It sucks. So, like, the quiet quitting thing or the soft quitting thing, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are like, they're being forced to pursue their own thing, like me here. Like, all right, fine. You're going to put me in a box. You're going to cancel me. You're going to try to take my income. You're going to make it so I can't go and work anywhere. Or employment just isn't cutting it anymore. People are trying to create their own thing. They're starting their own little businesses. They're pursuing their own little passion projects. You know, all this, yeah, it's small businesses have been ruined through COVID. So there's a ton of entrepreneurs out there that were destroyed. They're starting to do other stuff, and yeah, the whole market's different now. Everything's screwed up. There's like all these people that have been working from home, working remotely through COVID this whole time, you know, that are probably still I'm not talking shit about all you guys that got to work remotely, but there's a lot of people that had the luxury of working remotely that we didn't have. A lot of us didn't have the luxury of working remotely. We had to go to a physical location and do work all the way through COVID. And then we're being dictated to, you know, the masks that we got to wear and all this crap by people that are too scared to ever leave their house. And yeah, so it sucked. So I understand the quiet quitting thing. All right. That's all I want to talk about for geez, I already rambled for like 45 minutes. So probably only got time to get into a few more stories. So let's see. I think we should jump over. Yeah. Let's catch up on San Francisco. See anything new happened over there today. Cause Gavin's boss is in town. So let's check in on Xi Jinping. So here's this one. So yeah, they didn't get rid of the homeless, just so you guys know. They just pushed it out. So this is like, if you guys can see this picture, there's another tent. This is in a nicer neighborhood. So now it's going into the nicer neighborhoods. So London Breed gets actually questioned about Gavin's whole, we're not, people are saying that we only cleaned up the city because of these bigwigs that are coming into town. And that's true. So this guy actually questioned her on that. You know, so she had to try to spin it in some way.
There's one question that everyone has. Why has it taken the visit of US President Biden, China's President Xi, leaders from around the world for action on all of the problems that this city has been talking about for 4 years now?
Well, just to be clear, we have been working on this now for a few years. This is not an issue that we've been sitting around waiting to solve. It's been something that San Francisco continues to work on.
So what does that mean? So we've been working on this for years. You've been working on what for years? Because you guys virtually overnight, over the matter of a few days, put up the crazy fencing, pushed all the homeless out to wherever, south of Soma, or south of Market, sorry, Soma, back into the Tenderloin, all that stuff. And you guys super cleaned all the spots that you blocked off. So what do you mean you're working on it for years? And since you've taken office, the homeless population in San Francisco has done nothing but increase over a year. And the policies that have been implemented have helped perpetuate the homeless population, with handing out free fentanyl needles, handing out crack pipes, handing out foil, handing out tents, allowing tents to be on the sidewalk. All of these things tell people, hey, come to San Francisco and be homeless. We will give you stuff. And, Portland, Seattle, they all are doing the same thing. And strangely, these cities all have the same types of DAs that refuse to prosecute crime. All these cities seem to have the same things in common. San Francisco, fortunately, recalled Chesa Boudin, and they got Brooke Jenkins in there, who's fighting an uphill battle. But she actually has, I give her a thumbs up for the performance that she has done since she's got in there with everybody fighting against her. But point is, it's like, what's really going on? Why are all these cities behaving in the exact same way? And why has the homeless problem only been perpetuated? Then they say that they've been working on it for years. And what do you mean by working on it? By working on it, do you mean we've been actively trying to make the problem worse? Because that's what it seems. Because then you have all these nonprofit homeless outreach programs as well. And what do? Nothing. Yes, go ask individual homeless people, like, hey, have you heard of this group, like a homeless outreach group? They don't go to the homeless and be like, hey, how can we help? How can we help get you clean? How can we help get you into a shelter? How can we help get you a job? How can we help? Like, all the money that they're providing, that the state is providing to these nonprofits, they could be, hey, you know what? We'll get you a cell phone and a PO box and everything you can do to try and get people back towards being a productive member of society. They don't do that. They do nothing. All they do is line their own pockets. This whole thing, it seems that they want to actually make the homeless problem worse by their actions. Their words are completely different from their actions and the results of their policies. So, okay. So, yeah, Xi Jinping got here. Did you guys see this? So, have you guys seen the laser beams in San Francisco? Ooh. So I actually kind of do like the lasers. They're kind of cool. They, of course, do it as a rainbow all the time, but you don't have to do it as a rainbow. But it is kind of cool. But it is like, okay, I see where your priorities are at, San Francisco. They're really trying, aren't they? Like they're putting up the Christmas tree. I would love San Francisco to be a city that people wanted to come to again, but I don't think it's going to be there for years, guys. I really don't. It's dangerous to go there right now. It's dangerous for tourists. It's dangerous for people that can't defend themselves. And it's illegal to carry firearms, except for unless you're a criminal. Like, San Francisco it's not the San Francisco we grew up loving, you guys. It's just not right now. And it sucks. I wish it was. I wish I was wrong about all this stuff. I wish this was all right-wing conspiracy theories. And San Francisco is really not that bad. It's just not the case, you guys. I wish it was. Yeah, I'll hop up to Oakland really quick. There's Nordstream pipeline news. There's all sorts of news. Man, I ramble too long. I guess you need to tell me to stop rambling so much. Another fire. So there's another homeless encampment fire over off of
Oakland, California, donde la vida no vale nada. Oakland, California, donde la vida no vale nada. Oakland,
Sorry. I don't know what he's saying. You guys speak Spanish? Tell me what he's saying. I need a translation there. He says the same thing for every video. But yeah, it's just another, you can tell it's an encampment fire. There's encampments all around this area right here. And as it gets colder, these fires are going to be more frequent and more frequent. So just expect that. Just homeless people having fires in their tents, electricals too. Like you see what they do to rig. They tap into like lampposts, and they tap into anything that they could tap into. It's crazy. It's freaking crazy. Some of the stuff you see out there. All right, I already showed you that one. So we'll get out of Oakland. Something happened in Philly that I wanted to talk to you guys about. But no, I got to talk to this. No, some more California stuff before we jump over to Philly. I should have time. So Adam Schiff, there are a lot of people are saying Adam Schiff doesn't even live in California. A lot of people are saying that. So there's another. So after the whole freeway debacle, it didn't collapse, but they're going to have to shut down that freeway, the section of the Highway 10, pretty close to there. This section of what's this, like the 310 over above Figueroa Street in LA? It's like another. It looks like it's not directly under, so it won't cause too much damage, but another fire. There's a whole bunch of them. 817,669 Californians left in 2022. So, yeah, more than almost a million people left California. That's insane. Like, I don't think California's population has decreased ever up before like 2020 or 2021 or ever it was, and it's now every year California's population decreases. That's insane. As insane as all of the politics and the people have gotten around here, California remains one of the most beautiful places on earth. I'm not very well traveled. I'm sure there's amazingly beautiful places all over the world, but California is obviously, it's a very long and large state. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound sexual there, but it is in such a unique geographical area. Its proximity to the equator, the weather is fantastic. Just Yosemite, the endless beaches, the redwoods, the deserts, the mountains. California is magnificent, absolutely magnificent, and more people should be trying to come here every single year. And the main reason I think is this whole crazy, like, California housing is insane. Do you know how much land the state owns? Do you know how California could do something? Imagine if the state was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to sell state land. We're going to block out state land, and we're going to allow you to purchase parcels. And we're not going to sell to developers. We're only going to sell to somebody that can get we're going to work with the banks to allow it to be like where they're giving you like a mortgage on property, but you're going to build a home, so you can get like a trailer and you can live on the property and build your own home. Imagine if California helped make that happen for individual people. My dream is to build my own home, buy some land with a view in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and build my own home. What if California made that happen? You know how many hills and beautiful places? I'm not talking about developers. And then you get beautiful, like Tahoe, you get like unique. You don't get cookie cutter neighborhoods. You get individual homes with their individual style, and you get individual builders and designers for all these homes. And California could do stuff like this, and it would be cheaper. Sorry, people should be trying to move to California. Just do a longer show, Lonnie. I might just maybe I'll keep grooving. So, oh yeah, so this, no, I played this yesterday. So yeah, we'll play that. Okay. So I think we're done with California. Yeah, I may not even need to go long. Yeah, it's okay. Still got a few minutes. Talk about the Nordstream really quick. So Ukraine is I won't go super down the rabbit hole with the Nordstream thing. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow. Ukraine is claiming responsibility, essentially. Ukrainian military officer coordinated Nord Stream pipeline attack. This is from the Washington Post. Roman Chervinsky, a colonel in Ukrainian special forces, I'm sorry, hold on, you guys.
Scarlett, you're snoring. You're so loud.
You guys hear that? man, she only snores sometimes too. I have to reposition her, so she wakes me up in the middle of the night. It's insane. So yeah, they're claiming that that they're taking responsibility for it, claiming that Ukrainian special forces was integral in the brazen sabotage. Okay, so this doesn't make sense to me already, because this already seemed like a CIA thing. Like, we had operations going on. Seymour Hersh broke this whole story. It was one of the first videos I did. I think it might have been the first video I did and put out on the internet about a story of me trying to talk about stuff. And it was the Seymour Hersh one. Yeah, let's see what Aaron Matei has to say about it really quick, because he's interviewed Seymour Hersh, and he knows this stuff. So your first clue. Okay, so here, let's hold on. Let's see what the Washington Post says first. The officer's role provides the most direct evidence to date tying Ukraine's military and security leadership to a controversial act of sabotage that spawned multiple criminal investigations, and that U.S. and Western officials have called a dangerous attack on Europe's energy infrastructure. Okay, so Aaron Matei says your first clue that Washington Post's new Nordstream scoop, which blames a senior Ukrainian intel officer for the bombing, is yet another CIA cover story in this second gaffe. I didn't read this before. In the second graph, U.S. and Western officials have called the Nord Stream bombings a dangerous attack on Europe's energy infrastructure. No, top U.S. officials, namely Blinken and Nuland, have openly celebrated the Nord Stream bombings as a tremendous strategic opportunity that they're vaguely gratified by. And who was it? It was someone. Oh, somebody threw up like the United States flag right after the bombing, and a picture of the bombing right after it happened. Like, yeah, U.S. Everybody knew it was the U.S. And now the Washington Post is trying to. Okay, so yeah, I just right off the bat, I was like, wait a minute. I thought we already, Seymour Hersh already pretty much told us who this was. And yeah, so now that we're sort of falling out of favor with Ukraine and we're not backing them so much in the war, I don't know, this whole thing just seems super suspect. Oh, Zelensky must be so jealous. The USA got a new girlfriend. All right, I think that's all I'm going to talk about Nord Stream for now. I might go a little bit long. That's okay. Yeah, there's something I want to talk about in Philly. What was it? Oh, yeah, just freaking. This is just brazen. So, daytime Philadelphia home invasion. 4 armed guys pull up in an Acura as the business owner out the home. 4 armed guys pull up in an Acura as business owner outside home with employee. Philly police say they force them inside, assault them, tie them up. You can see the child watching. Wheel out safe, steal guns and jewelry. This is one of 2. This is broad daylight, you guys. Philly and Oakland are very similar in how wild it's getting. This was in East Oakland Lane last Monday, 66. Oh, wait a minute. So wait. Hold on. One of 2. 2 of 2. This was in East Oakland Lane last Monday. On November 6, 2023, the complainant's home was robbed by a group of unknown males. The complainant reported to the police he runs a business out of his home. On the November 6th, he was outside with an employee when a black Acura 2007 or 2008 pulled up, and 4 Hispanic males got out and at gunpoint brought them back into the house. Okay, so he was just mistaken. This was in Oakland. This wasn't in Philly. That's crazy how I said that Philly and Oakland have so much in common. So this actually was in Oakland. So he just got the city wrong. But just as easily could have been in Philly. Philly's wild right now too. Okay, so I guess that was. Never mind. My Philly story was actually an Oakland story. So I guess we just talked about California the whole night. I mean, yeah, there's that story of the 2 Asian dudes that shot the black dude in Philly a couple weeks ago. You guys saw that one, but I'm not even going to play it because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, even though I don't care so much about YouTube. All right, folks. I think that is. Well, no. You know what? I started late, so I can go a little longer. Let's see. What do we got? There's another thing I want to talk about. Oh, yeah. So let's just talk about Iceland a little bit. So all sorts of there's a bunch of conspiracies going around about Iceland. It's just Iceland it sits right on top of 2 tectonic plates that are always moving. They're always in flux. And yeah, there's a bunch of crazy volcanoes and earthquakes and stuff happening all over the world right now, though. So a lot of people are getting all biblical saying stuff like that. But yeah, let's watch some videos because there's just some crazy videos coming out of Iceland and all over the world, actually. So there's this cool one. So this was in Mexico after the Popocatépetl. Popocatépetl? I can't pronounce it. That volcano erupted. And then this is a video of dolphins. Like, look at this. They're swimming in what's a bunch of dolphins called? A pod? A herd? A group? Yeah, what are they called? They're not fish, so what are they called? What's a group of dolphins called, you guys? In God's hands, what's going on? Your Rumble's having big problems? It's frustrating. You're staying in California? Good. With me? Right on. Nanya, what up? How you doing? Let's see. All right, here, check this out. So this is just a school. Is it a school of dolphins? Just after the eruption. Look at this. This would be like a okay, I can die now moment for me. This can you imagine seeing this like right in front of you? That's spectacular. It's like they're swimming with the boat. All right, that wasn't exactly Iceland, but that was right after a volcano. So this is the volcano. Oh, this is the underwater volcano in Japan. This is from, yeah, just yesterday. Look at this. It's like a new island being formed. It's crazy.
まあ今日はほとんど海面にまでマン
So that's happening in Japan. So we have one in Mexico, one in Japan, and then this giant crack opened up and this is Iceland. But look at this. So from what people are saying, this whole town might have to be abandoned. Like this crack just runs right through the middle of everything. So okay, so here. So this is from Nancy Leader. Comment by Nancy Leader. Iceland is on the border between the Eurasian plate and the North American. Eurasia has always been at war with East Asia. Sorry. Little 1984 moment. Iceland is on the border between the Eurasian plate and the North American plate. So when the New Madrid rupture starts tugging on the North American plate to pull the different direction, Iceland gets to trembling. Inside Paper earlier on November 10th reported 85 quakes within an hour, and Volcano Discovery reports in the 24 hours. Within 24 hours, Iceland has 1,035 quakes of magnitude magnitude up to 4.6 so far today. It is the mainland portion which reaches up to Iceland and then down to the Azores that are being tugged. You can imagine trying to have soup for lunch. Okay. So I wonder what type of it sounds like. So there's convergent plate boundaries, which are the ones that are going at each other. So those are the ones that create the gnarly tsunamis. So the plate boundaries that are constantly pushing on one another, and then one slips under the other one, and there's a large land displacement underwater. Those are the ones that create tsunamis. The divergent ones are the ones that are sliding past one another, going this way, and they still can create minor tsunamis because you'll get like minor water displacement, but it's not nearly as much as the convergent plate boundaries. So I wonder what type of plate boundaries they are. So lots of crazy volcanic activity going on in Iceland right now. Yeah, so this is just that big. There's I guess I didn't bookmark it. There's a big gnarly, that crack that I showed you guys in that town is insane. Like, it looks like it goes way down. So yeah, they might have to. It looks like that town might be donezo. So all right, yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight, folks. Yeah, all right, that is gonna be it. We live in the Ring of Fire in Santa Cruz. Yes, we do. It's trying to have low income apartments with no parking spaces. How are people supposed to evacuate? I don't know. But the plate boundary that we have is a divergent plate boundary. So the tsunamis we got to worry about are actually from a different plate, I believe. I only took like 3 oceanography classes, and it was so long ago that I might just be talking bullshit. I can't even remember. So now I want to look, but yeah, I don't think the plate boundaries are convergent plate boundaries. I believe they're divergent plate boundaries. So we're not a huge tsunami risk, but sorry, bro. I live up in the mountains. I'm at like 600 feet elevation, so I'm kind of good for. It would have to be a gnarly ass tsunami to get to me, and it would have to knock down a ton of redwood trees though too. But I mean, if you're local, you know how we got the sand hills. We know where the water elevation used to be around here. We know where it got to one point. So, and I do believe I'm above the sand hills too. So. And I could run up like 1,000 feet from where I'm at, and probably be up 1,000 feet in like 5 minutes. So that'd be good. Well, 10 minutes. I don't know. Yeah. All right. I think that's it for the night. Santa Cruz flood zones. Yeah, I know. There's evacuation zones and stuff, but I don't think. Well, no, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say Santa Cruz is safe from a tsunami, but. It's not like the Fukushima event that happened. That was a convergent plate boundary, so it was different. Even though those waves hit us, if you remember that there's the footage of the docks in Santa Cruz that tsunami actually got all the way to us. So, all right, but I think we got the backside of it. All right, yep, that is it, folks. Stop sharing this. What am I doing here? Sorry. All right. Well, all right. Thanks, everybody, for joining. None your business. Terry Wallace, In God's Hands. Lonnie, B. Sizzo, Wally World, Schizoid Man. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. You know how we do it. Before we go, we got to read a joke from the greatest book ever written, The Truth About Chuck Norris. Let's see what we have tonight. Go right to the beginning of the book. See one of the first jokes in here. Oh, okay. No, I can't read that. Okay. All right. It's not it's not a good one. Some of the jokes aren't great in here. I'm just going to, okay. I didn't read this one. I read 3 jokes and I just have to pick one now. So this is going to be the joke. So, all righty. You guys ready for the Chuck Norris joke of the evening? Here it is. Chuck Norris killed the Pope with a roundhouse kick to the chest after an argument over who had a better beard, Jesus or Chuck Norris. And on that note, folks, stay CaliBased. I didn't pick the joke, guys. I didn't pick it.